Welcome, everybody, to NFC North West Coast Edition, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I have a lot to be thankful for.
I do too.
So,
it feels good to have a good week. Start the week pretty well, right?
It's a great week.
I mean, better for you than us, but still.
You know what? We're gonna switch up the episodes a little bit, and we're gonna start with the standings. Okay?
Oh
Yeah!
no!
The latest standings for the NFC North.
Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you next week.
Bears sit on top, baby. Still, let's go. 8-3. I'm like shook. I really am. All right. We'll go through the standings here, and then we'll talk about how every team got here. So Bears sit up top, 8-3. Packers sitting second, 7-3-1. Lions third, 7-4, and the Vikings fourth, 4-7. So standings stay the same since last week.
That damn tie is really haunting us right now. The stained Browns.
I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Cowboys.
I mean, you're above the Lions. You wouldn't be above the Lions.
I mean, we'll still be above the Lions because we beat them in week 1. So
that's true. Well, today things can change.
They could. I mean, I hope they don't, but they could.
So if you're tuning in early on this Thanksgiving, then hopefully you hear us before the game today. But if not, the game may have already happened, and we don't know what the outcome will be. So if you may be tuning in while the Packers and Lions are playing right now. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. So we'll see. But happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and let's just get into it. Man, the Bears strike again.
Can you guys just make a normal game happen? Like it just.
I will say, at least we had a victory formation this game. That was
I mean,
that was new.
Progress.
New. We're on the right path. Yeah. So obviously, I'm pretty sure I can speak for most Bears fans out there that we probably would have loved to gone against Aaron Rodgers. Pretty disappointed that we did not get to go against Aaron Rodgers because the guys talked a lot of shit for so long, and even before the game, he was apparently flipping off cameras at Soldier Field. So the guy is still a douchebag. Nothing's changed there.
Yeah, he's not allowed to do ayahuasca, so none of the peace and love.
Yeah,
that he's never really had. But
I was pretty disappointed. I wanted to sack him like 15 times, but
here's the thing, though. It would have been a more competitive game if Aaron Rodgers plays. Let's be honest.
Maybe there was actually, you know what? Let me pull this up here because my cousin sent me something today. Oh, okay. So Mason Rudolph, 8-4-1 before yesterday as their starting quarterback. So of course, yeah, what they're saying is he's not as good as Aaron Rodgers, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's an incapable quarterback, and he has a winning record. He's got a winning record though.
I mean, everyone in the Steelers has a winning record.
You know what? You're starting to sound like the rest of the NFL fans out there that just can't.
No.
They can't give the Bears their credit.
No,
We had 0 linebackers available.
I understand that. I get that. Here's the thing. 2 things could be true at the same time. You guys deserve the credit for winning because you still went against a NFL team. And Mason Rudolph sucks. They're both true at the same time. Here's the thing. It's Tomlin. He's still a competent, very good coach. He's still a hard coach to go against, so I'll give you the credit there.
Yeah, but the fact that you're saying it's more competitive, this game is as competitive as it could be. It went back and forth and went down to the wire.
The mental mistakes that Mason Rudolph is known for and continue to do on this game, those are mistakes that Aaron Rodgers normally doesn't make.
What mental mistakes did he do this game?
He had picks, the defense.
Okay, that pick was just nasty by Deshaun Wright. They didn't
but
even
on top
let
of that,
throw the ball.
on third down, he doesn't throw it to the wide open wide receivers. He doesn't get the right assignments. He doesn't. He's never been a great decision maker. Like I'm not someone that I'm not. Again, I won't be taking the credit away from the Bears, but I will never ever say that Mason Rudolph is a competent quarterback.
Uh,
That's stretch.
I mean, the guy's 8-4-1, and at the end of the day, what comes down to it is wins in the NFL. If you're a winning quarterback,
I
we'll
think I
we'll
think
never know,
you're
right?
really fangirling this one for the Bears because yes, they deserve their win and they won. They got their win, but Mason Rudolph sucks. Like he's not a good player.
I'm not. Here's the thing: is there's the narrative coming out that if Aaron Rodgers played, like you even said
I
it right
said
now, it
competitive.
would have been more competitive. Which I don't understand how you can get more competitive than this game. So I'm not really understanding that analogy at all. And secondly, is again, I think we had. Let's see, it was our fourth and fifth string linebackers who had played a total of like 5 snaps before this game today.
Sure,
Combined, by the way, not each, combined.
but
Then we have our third and fourth string cornerbacks.
okay.
So we probably had a total of like 5 starters on
But that
defense.
everything that you mentioned right now is why it became competitive with Mason Rudolph. If you guys have your full team, you guys would have beat the shit out of him. That's the reality. Aaron Rodgers he's a veteran. He knows more than Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph is a
Uh,
joke.
I don't know.
It's just the
What
thing. You didn't go against just Mason Rudolph. You went against the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin's the only coach that's ever made the playoff every single year that he's ever been a coach in the whole history of the NFL. So that is where you guys
Yeah, but
accomplish.
I guess what annoys me most about your statement is you're living in hypotheticals. You're living in what ifs, and I'm speaking reality right now. I'm speaking that
Sure, but
it was a competitive game,
it was
and
entertaining.
and yet again, the Bears find a way to win.
And I
So
agree with you. I think that the Bears are a scrappy team that have a lot of playmakers. I'm with you. I think that you guys had a lot of injuries, so I'm not taking that away too. I'm forced to defend Aaron Rodgers, which is killing me right now. But Aaron Rodgers is a more competent, experienced, future Hall of Famer, and Mason Rudolph is
yeah, but he's
Mason
also
Rudolph,
he's also
41.
yeah out of his
But
prime
he
and
plays better at 41 than Mason Rudolph has ever played. And that's the thing. Mason Rudolph made this game as competitive as possible, but it wasn't because of him. It was because you guys didn't have the defense to really be able to stop him, mainly because you guys had so many injuries.
I mean
It's not a
the defense, of course, like you could tell that the Steelers had a game plan to really attack the
yes.
linebacking core. Of course, you could definitely see that. It was a lot of underneath passes. It was a lot of, but that's what I'm saying is that Mason Rudolph played to their game plan. And besides, of course, throwing up some deep balls that were really, 50-50 deep balls, it wasn't anything that was like, the receivers had our cornerbacks beat. But he stuck to the game plan and, Pittsburgh almost came away with it,
They did.
and
My comment wasn't to say that you guys don't win this game because you guys probably play this differently if it's Aaron Rodgers. Let's be honest. That's true. You have to adjust, but they have to adjust too. You have your starter going down. Now your backup, the whole playbook changes. And I get it. He's been there for his whole career, whatever. But it's still, he has limitations. Like, can we at least agree to that? Like, the dude has limitations in comparison.
well, yeah, every quarterback's different, of
Well, I
course,
mean, I'm comparing him to Aaron Rodgers.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could say that about several quarterbacks,
Yeah.
and
And your backup, for the most part, isn't going to be able to run the playbook the way that your starter does, even if it's a 41-year-old Aaron Rodgers. I just my comment is more that in the entertainment way, I would have loved to have seen you guys beat Aaron Rodgers. I just think that it becomes a different game. Maybe it's not 40-30 or whatever it ended up becoming.
mhm,
Maybe it's in the 20s because you guys have to be more conservative in some
yeah.
areas. But I think it would have been an entertaining ass game and a very I know it's like competitive might not be the word
Yeah,
because it was competitive.
yeah, like I agree to the sense of like, of course, that's a storyline in itself, right? If you're going back to the Rogers Bears narrative, of course, and I feel like a lot of the Bears It's different when you weren't there all those years, right? It's not the same feeling, but for Bears fans, obviously, it would have been nice to go against Aaron Rodgers and come out with a win.
It would have been cool.
So, the score, and I didn't even mention the score, but so Bears won 31-28, and I have to give Dennis Allen some credit in this game as well because again, you know, completely depleted defense basically. And we even lost Tyreek Stevenson in the first half. So it's, to
Yeah.
only allow 7 points in the second half, I don't care who's at quarterback.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
I
And
mean, your defense is still they're still the headline. They're continuing to make key plays and key moments.
yeah, what's been interesting is again, and we'll go back to like the culture change. Like Ben Johnson has not even taken a full season to completely turn around the culture in Chicago.
Yeah.
And it's been very impressive. I think all Bears fans believed in him and that's why, we basically begged the front office for Ben Johnson and we prayed on it every single day and we wanted him so badly
You
and
manifested.
yeah, but I don't think, I mean, I don't wanna speak for all Bears fans, but I don't think that I personally didn't expect to turn it around this quickly. And,
Yeah.
to be sitting here now after 12 weeks, atop of the division after going 5-12 last year, I
It's a
got it. And in a tough division.
yeah.
Now, granted, we have a ton of divisional games coming up, but now being 1-1 in the division, that's a confidence
Yeah.
booster, right? It's been very impressive, and one of the things that and I kind of alluded to this very early on is like I'm trying to like keep it real, right? But I was more optimistic about this season and this new head coach than the previous 4 head coaches. And one of the things that really resonated is he said in the beginning of the year, there's no reason we can't win now. And that
That's fair.
mentality is just, you know, at that probably moment in time, it was like, mm, just a little statement. But I look back on that and I'm like, he really believed it and he has this entire team believing it. And
I
it's been fun so far. Heart attack after heart attack after heart
I was gonna
attack. But after the heart attacks and we survive, then, it's like a type of euphoria that Bears fans have not been able to feel in a very long time. And
yeah.
it's just nice. It's just nice to be there again. And a couple other things I'm going to highlight though about Ben Johnson is and the offense as a whole because I was very impressed with the offense this game.
Yeah.
I know they weren't able to close it out at the end and I'm sure that's something that, it'll be addressed, but it really seems like the offense is starting to click. I think Ben Johnson continues to prove that he's a tremendous play caller. I think the play calling has continuously improved week after week.
Yeah.
And he is really balancing that like aggressive mentality. He doesn't go for it every single time. So that's been kind of nice,
We hit a
but
nerve with a few Lion fans with that go for it comment.
I mean, it is what it is. But he is being aggressive at certain moments.
Yeah.
For example, when he went for it and called this beautiful QB rush, which he doesn't like. We haven't called a lot of designed QB runs, and that was just like the perfect play call. I think we were in our own zone at that moment, but
Mhm.
it just feels nice. And the other thing that is starting to come to fruition is it feels like every week is we have a different kind of playmaker stepping up. This week was DJ Moore, who's kind of been
MIA,
MIA
yeah.
for the
Jinx.
past, couple weeks. And so all of a sudden it's like 2 touchdowns, a bunch of catches, and that's good though. That's the kind of stuff
Yeah.
that you need, and
The other one that's kinda, like, being more consistent in the last few weeks is Caleb Williams.
yes, so
R
Caleb had a really solid game.
Really good game.
Yeah, 19 for 35. The completion's okay. That's probably not where Ben Johnson wants him to be because he has the bar
He
set
doesn't
so
have
high.
he doesn't have 90%.
But I mean, 239 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He did have that, sack fumble in the end zone. But what you love about that is he bounced right back.
Yeah.
And
He didn't let it affect him.
exactly. And
Yeah.
he faces adversity so well. And I mean, I understand why they call him Iceman, man. The guy's like he doesn't get phased
As long as they
and
call him that and he's not calling himself
yeah,
anything.
so apparently that started with his teammates. His teammates
Nice.
gave him that
Yeah.
nickname, and then now, Bears fans give him, also call him that. But yeah, so I mean, even though the game came down to the wire, watching it, of course, I, had a high anxiety in those last couple minutes, but watching the entire game, it felt very different for me from previous years because it felt like the offense, like they were in control a lot of it. They were moving the ball consistency
Yeah. Even when
or
when you guys were
consistently.
trailing, you guys still had a lot of
Yeah,
control.
and so, the rushing attack is kind of an interesting thing developing because it is seeming like it's becoming more of a, committee or hot hand type of
Oh, yeah,
approach.
because Swift kinda
Uh,
disappeared on this
yeah,
one.
exactly. So
Monagai had a
which I'm fine with, and Ben Johnson even said it himself, like he's not afraid to ride the hot hand and
yeah. I mean, that was the Lions pretty much when he was there. It was depending on which running back started hot,
yeah.
continue
Yeah.
being hot.
Yeah, well, Jahmyr Gibbs is on fire. We'll talk about that later, but
Yeah.
that guy is like torched. It's like, oh, geez Louise. But yeah, I mean, of course, we'll see, but it just feels and it's fine. We can continue to get the hate in the NFL because everybody keeps looking at our schedule and being like, you beat nobody. All these teams are under 500. Well, you know what? When the NFL schedule was first released, we had the second toughest schedule. Okay. It's not our fault that these teams have not lived up to their expectations. It's not our fault
They collapsed.
that, yeah, that they're not closing out football games or they're have it this is the NFL, man. There's no excuses for wins and losses. It is what it is. And so, whatever. People can keep talking their that's fine.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean, the NFL reacts or overreacts week to week. I mean, remember, they were crucifying Ben Johnson for how bad you guys played against the Lions,
Yeah.
and now they're not catching up
Yeah.
because you guys are 8-3, right?
Yeah, we're 8-3 and like again, it's such a funny thing because, they'll look at our wins and they'll be like, yeah, okay. Uh the Commanders beat the Chargers. We
Yeah,
beat the Commanders. The Giants beat Philly. We beat the Giants. Like, there's no logic in what is going on. It
it's a
is what
weird
it
year.
is.
It's a weird
It
year.
is what it is. It's the
Well,
NFL.
well, this year has been a little bit weirder than other years, not because of the Bears. The Bears have Ben Johnson, so that's to be expected that he would turn things around. But the year has been weird with so many teams beating teams that normally they wouldn't get to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's weird because we've just been kind of used to the past couple years of having like a handful of teams that have just been
Yeah, fair.
completely dominant. Like, the Chiefs dynasty has just overruled our lives for the past like 5 years.
We
So
were so jaded at that
yeah,
point.
exactly. So it's like we were just like, okay,
Well, I mean, I like it. I mean, I don't like when the Browns are beating us. That's not what I like. But I do like when like the Browns beat another team or
yeah.
the Giants.
I agree with you though. It is definitely an interesting year, and I think it's only gonna, I think it's only gonna get more interesting.
What it?
Alrighty, but yes, super happy, and of course, the real tough sledding is gonna happen towards the end of the season, and
It's
that's to be expected though, because not only is it the race to the playoffs, but every like I look at the Bears last year, for example. Every team wants to end on a positive note going into next year. It doesn't matter what your record is, even if teams know they're out of the playoffs, they're either playing for one, future contracts, right? Or two, because they know that football's coming to the end. And most of these players, I would assume, love football. You're making a career out of a game that you love. You wouldn't be playing this sport for so long if it's not a game that you enjoyed, in my opinion.
someone I forgot who brought this up on one of the sports talks, but they're saying owners might want to flop or might want the better draft pick. Players don't.
Yeah.
Players know that that new draft pick is their job.
Mhm.
So they will try their best to win.
Yeah.
So regardless of what team you're going for, they are trying their best to
Yeah.
beat you.
Absolutely. And of course, even the teams that are out of the playoffs, they want to be spoilers. Yeah, especially if it's divisional
Oh yeah.
teams. Like they want to be those spoilers that screw them over.
The
So,
Lions, the Bears are standing last year.
yeah. So, all right, let's move on to our interdivisional game of the week. We have Minnesota coming into Green Bay and absolutely getting demolished. Packers beating the Vikings 23-6, and this was a very interesting game for me though, because it felt like the first half was pretty conservative on both ends.
Oh yeah,
you know.
kind of like a boxer trying to feel out the ring,
Yeah,
see how everything's
yeah,
gonna go.
exactly. So I mean, going into the half, 10-6, Packers leading, but it did. It felt very conservative. Like you said, it was definitely like a feeling out feeling out
Process.
process. Yes, thank you. I can understand from Kevin O'Connell's point of view of like why maybe because for the Packers side, seeing, how much Brian Flores was going to blitz. I don't necessarily really know. It's kind of weird, but it feels like that's where the Vikings would want to be. It feels
Yes.
like that's not where the Packers would want to be.
So they asked Matt LaFleur about his conservative calling, and he said that, yeah, I purposely made this one very conservative. I'm not used to having to, he's lying on this one, but he said, I'm not used to having to call the same run play 3 times in a row over and over and over again.
He's lying.
He's lying about that. But the point I'm trying to get at is that I think he knew once we got to a certain point, like once we got to, I think once we scored our second score, right? He knew the Vikings can't score. They can't at all.
Yeah, I mean, that muffed punt was
That
really
was, yeah,
detrimental to the Vikings
it was.
because the way that their offense was playing, it was like everything else needed to be perfect. And unfortunately, Miles Price just did
Yeah.
not get the memo of, hey, the ball is literally right behind you. Stop blocking. And, you know, that's where Green Bay recovered, I think, on like the 5-yard line and
Yeah.
then scored 2 plays later. So that's really tough to overcome when clearly, the Minnesota offense is
Struggling.
struggling to say the least.
Nine was closer to having 9 turnovers or 9 sacks or lost yards for everything, like bad plays, than he did doing anything good with that name.
Yeah, so before we talk about McCarthy, I refuse to call him 9, but I gotta give.
I'm gonna call him 9 forever. It's working. He sucks as soon as he names himself 9.
It's just weird to me, but
Only 9.
I messaged Dylan that the other day.
What'd he say?
Because he sent me, I think he got his jersey or something, and I just responded 9.
You got a McCarthy jersey?
I think so.
Dylan, why?
I think so. Well, hold on. I want to say a couple more things about the Packers though before we, there's not much to highlight on the Vikings in this game, but there's a couple things I do want to talk about.
Gotcha.
But got to give credit to also Emmanuel Wilson. Stepped
Fantastic
in.
game.
Yep, played great. 2 touchdowns.
Career day for him.
Yeah, ran hard. So
I love Josh Jacobs. And I do think Josh Jacobs is more talented running back, but I do think that this was a nice change of pace. It seemed like the play calling worked better with Emmanuel Wilson than it does with Josh Jacobs, at least in the last 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So I do think that if Matt LaFleur adapts and he uses both of them, kind of like a Sonics and Knuckles type of situation.
You know what was kind of interesting is this week, it felt like the identity of our teams like reversed because it really felt that for the Packers to win, it was their defense that played phenomenal and then the rushing game, right?
Yeah.
And then for the Bears to win, it felt like it was really their passing attack.
Yeah.
And typically that is reversed identities for our teams. And so it was just kind of an interesting thing.
It's a weird year. It's a weird fucking year.
So it was just like funny because I'm watching this game and I'm like, this is like how the Bears win games.
Yeah.
They just play great defense and they run the ball and that's how they find ways to win.
It's a strange year.
Yeah.
We're changing. We're Freaky Fridaying this.
I even have here Jordan Love threw a season low 21 times.
Okay, but
winning a game
to be fair,
throw 21 times is crazy.
In his defense, he does have an injury right now, and I think that was part of the game plan. Like, we know that this is a short week for us, so we didn't want to like overstress them, and we want to get them prepared for the Lions thing. So with that said too, we kind
To
of went.
clarify, I wasn't attacking Jordan Love. I was
Oh
just
no,
saying
no,
it's
I know, but
crazy that
the low. This is what I'm defending. The
yeah.
low yardage.
Mhm.
We kind of took what the defense gave us, and the defense basically told Matt LaFleur, run it as much as you want. They did cover two. They didn't put anybody to try to stack the box. They just said, run it. And Matt LaFleur said, bet. Let's run it then. Let's do it. And it worked.
Uh,
They didn't
yeah.
adapt.
I mean, honestly, again, yeah, like the way the game was going, it didn't really seem like they like wanted Jordan Love to
Yeah.
really throw it all. So,
But at some point, you have to understand that the game plan is going against you. If you're going to let them run it as much as they were, at some point, they were just killing the clock. That's all the
yeah,
Packers did.
yeah,
You're struggling. You need the clock to stop. Have Jordan Love throw the ball. Disguise something. Flores is known as one of the best coaches when it comes to disguising packages. I didn't see any of that.
yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't think it was necessary because JJ McCarthy is just
oh, nine.
so I mean, let's talk about McCarthy because he's
Uh,
the biggest storyline coming out of Minnesota this week.
yeah.
And listen, 12 for 19, 87 yards, 2 interceptions, 5 sacks for a loss of 35 yards, which gives him 52 net passing yards.
Can I say something kind of adding to that whole stat line? What the were they doing with their offensive line? I get they're beat up. I get it. It's a talking point that we had in the
Mhm,
preseason, right?
mhm.
But they left Micah Parsons in an island. Like there were times that they single covered him. And then they kind of went the full opposite effect at the end where they started triple covering it. You can't, okay, adjust, figure out something, get your tight end to try to block him too. But having three people try to cover Micah Parsons leaves a hole on the other side, which is why Rashawn Gary had a good game. And then setting your center single cover Micah Parsons. Did you see that video? He got steamrolled. And then he flipped Micah Parsons and he literally made the number 9 with his body. So I'm like, bro, they're going to kill this kid.
I don't know. I can't. Regardless of that, I'm just looking at McCarthy's game right now, and I'm looking at his throws. I'm looking at how he's processing information, and it's just all bad, all
Yeah,
bad.
I saw the videos where you could see Justin Jefferson wide open.
I mean, it's and again. Don't get me wrong, Vikings fans. Caleb Williams has these growing pains as well, but it's not that bad. Like
Yeah.
he has his moments, but this is like 2 straight games where it's just consistently not
Do
good.
you remember when we had the kind of ranking where we think the potential of all the quarterbacks are at? And I got mad because you put JJ above Jordan Love. This is why I got mad.
Okay, ceiling wise, that is what I was talking about.
I know, but
Okay.
in my head, I'm like, I saw him.
Jordan Love has been in the league for 6 years already.
This is his
Okay?
third year playing as a starter.
He's still 6 years in the league though.
No,
Okay?
I get that.
So after 5 more years, okay, if JJ McCarthy is not a starting quarterback, then yeah, I was wrong on his ceiling. But you have to, again, ceiling is defined in how much growth they can have. Like what is the highest point of their game, right?
Sure.
And so, of course, naturally, you're going to go towards the younger quarterbacks because they have more years in the league and more room for growth. Now, that doesn't mean talent wise, like it wasn't who has the highest talent. So that's what I was saying is it was wildly known from his scouting report, and we even talked about it, that he was a project quarterback. He
He
was
had
going to
issues with accuracy.
yeah, he had issues with accuracy. He was going to need development. And clearly throwing him into the fire is not the development.
No.
And,
But he did.
granted, he
Oh, you were
was
gonna say the same
injured.
thing.
He was injured last year and he was learning,
Sure.
but it's like maybe he needs what Jordan Love needed and had 3 years learning behind a veteran quarterback that really allows them to work on their mechanics, perfect their game, and really learn from a veteran who establishes
Sure.
really healthy habits for you.
Well, they could have, but the Vikings fucked up.
Well, and that was gonna be my next point is letting Sam Darnold go is looking like
Letting
a
both of them go. Let's
yeah,
be honest.
yeah,
Letting Danny Dimes and
yeah,
Darnold go were two huge mistakes.
yeah, it's looking like that's gonna be a decision that can possibly haunt you for the next couple years. So,
And they're about to go into like cap hell
yeah.
with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah, so I don't
It's
know
gonna be
I don't know what the Vikings do. I mean, the season's not over.
it's
Who
not.
knows?
Who
You guys
knows?
can go on a run,
They
okay?
could. They could.
But
And the kid, and here's the thing, I don't want to look like I'm all doom and gloom on this kid. I do think that he's still really young. He's still very raw. He needs to develop.
yeah.
Does he develop? We don't know. We can't
Yeah.
tell.
Yeah, it's just hard to because and of course, I'm a Bears fan. I've seen it over and over and over again. When you have a young quarterback that is clearly a project quarterback and you just have them go in there, they start to develop really bad habits.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's something that could really be happening right now with JJ, and you just don't want that because it's really hard to it become it becomes not developing them, it becomes how do we scale back what they are doing? You know, it's like changing what they're doing as
Yeah.
opposed to growing on whatever their skill set is. So,
The
yeah, but
decision
I
making
don't
right now is not great for him,
yeah,
for sure.
I just I don't I mean, again, we'll see what the rest of the season, has in store, but I think that
Yeah,
he could use more time to develop behind a veteran quarterback. Can
fortunately, they
I
don't
don't
have the.
yeah, I was gonna say, can is that even something they can do next year? Probably not, but
It's a tough thing to see for this kid. He's not making great decisions, and here's the thing. At the same time, we do have to give credit to the Packers defense because they are looking like they are a top five. Well, they are statistically they're a top five defense in the whole league. And Micah Parsons looks like he was worth every penny. And right now he's 11 sacks in, and he's got the most pressures in the league. I I don't think that this defense would be what it is. I don't think the Packers are in contention the way that they are now without Micah Parsons, if I'm being really honest.
mhm,
If you look at the video, if you look at the Vikings game, everybody that had a sack was because the whole line had to shift because of Micah Parsons. And when the line did not shift, he bulldozed everyone down.
yeah.
So I do think that our identity, like you said, has flipped. And it seems like we're a run team, which I'm not happy about, but we're a defensive team. But I also think that that kind of it's a double-edged sword because what's allowed us to be such a good defense too is our defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley. And all the rumors right now are that teams are actively trying to pursue him. So we have this year. Maybe if he stays for a year, maybe he does a Ben Johnson the way he did with the Lions. But the way he's making this defense play, I think this might be it for us when it comes to our defense. So
We shall see.
we shall see.
Alrighty. Anything else you want to touch up on the Packers Vikings game?
No, I mean I think we pretty much said it all. The highlights were. I'm sorry, Vikings fans. I'm not trying to like dig anything. I just think the highlights were strictly on the on the on the Packers. They didn't. They scored 2 field goals. They didn't get 100
Yeah.
yards passing. They
Yeah.
they couldn't
I
run.
think I saw they had like 4 net yards in the entire second half.
Yeah,
It's just bad. It's just very ugly for sure.
yeah.
Alrighty, let's move on to the Lions playing at home against the Giants. Another escape. This is now all the NFC North teams. I feel bad for the Giants are escaping wins over the Giants, but the Lions came out on top 34 to
It's
27
the full
in an
Jameis Winston effect.
overtime game.
It's a
Well,
Jameis
we
Winston
played
effect.
against Jackson Hart or
Okay,
Jackson Dart.
okay,
And then mildly Russell Wilson.
okay. But the Packers and the Lions
Yeah.
had the Jameis Winston effect.
Yeah. But I mean, it was a back and forth game
Oh yeah.
similar to the Steelers Bears game.
Well,
So
there was a point where it looked like the Giants were the ones that were controlling the pace. They were the ones that were controlling who had the better score, who was scoring more. I
Yeah.
mean, that throw to Jameis Winston, that seemed like it should have been a Lions play.
Dude, and him breaking the tackle.
Yep.
Like, bro, that was crazy.
Now we hear him. Another trick play as Olszewski throws. It's caught. Olszewski with the pass into the end zone for a Giants touchdown. Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing is, talk about it every week, and as a Bears fan, I can't say a win is a win, right?
A
A win
win's a
is a
win.
win. But boy, did Giants give the Lions some help.
A lot of help.
Yeah, so
This game made me think that rigged games might be a thing. Because what the?
in case you missed it, but the Giants were up by a field goal. And they were at, what was it?
They're
The 6 yard line. And it's 4th and 6, 4th and goal, right? And instead of kicking the field goal to force the Lions to score a touchdown, they decided to go for it. And they did not get it. So now, I'm pretty sure the Lions had also
All 3 timeouts.
Yeah, they had all 3 timeouts?
Before they went for that, they had all 3 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken, and then they called their timeout, but then
Okay.
they threw the ball, so it stopped the clock, so they still had timeout.
Okay, yeah. So turnover on downs, and the Lions set up Jake Bates to, it was like insane, like a 59-yard field goal.
Okay,
To force it into
to be fair,
overtime.
most kickers aren't making 59-yarders, but that kicker is known for having a leg.
But again, the point goes to kick the field goal.
Kick the field
bro.
goal.
It's not 4th and 1.
It's not if it.
It's like, I don't know.
In my head,
And
this is one of those games where I'm like, it's rigged. It's got to be rigged. Like, I
Yeah.
don't think it's rigged, but it's got to be rigged.
And I mean, he's like, we're going for the win. You're already winning. You're already winning. So I get what you're saying. Like, okay, yeah, you're forcing it to be a 2-score game, but you have to know who your opponent is. You're playing against the Lions.
Yeah.
A team that is very well known for their offense.
And a team that could get into field goal position within a play or two.
Yeah, and has one of the best kickers in football. I don't know.
A more competent coach. Here's the thing. Lions, you deserve this win. You played fantastic in overtime. You did what you had to do. Gibbs is a monster.
Gibbs played fantastic in overtime.
Can I just say this one more?
And in the entire game, actually.
Can I just
Gibbs
say-
rescued the Lions during this game.
Can I say this? I will never draft Jameson Williams ever in any fucking league that I ever have him. I'm tired. I'm done. I hate him.
Yeah, he's my breakout candidate for the Lions. Is not looking so
He's
hot.
breaking my team. Like, 0 points. 0.
Yeah, I mean,
Against the Giants.
yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs was the saving grace
Monster.
for the Lions
Monster.
in this game. Because here's the thing. Both quarterbacks played very similar games. Jared Goff and Jameson Winston, they almost very, very similar stats. So, I mean, Winston, 18 for 36. Completion-wise, not that great. But 366 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception, and a sack for a 4-yard loss. Jared Goff, 28 for 42. So, higher completion percentage, though. Kind of. Yeah. 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 3 sacks for 22 yards loss. So it's very, very similar. And Jahmyr Gibbs, again, to the rescue. I mean, the guy is incredibly
He's
on fire
the
right
best
now.
running back in the league.
Yeah.
Right now. At least right now, he's the best running back in the league.
Yeah. So to highlight Gibbs here. So again, if you didn't watch the game, the Giants elected to kick the ball, right? Giving the Lions the first possession. And all it was Jared Goff hands the ball off to Jahmyr Gibbs, who breaks it for a 69-yard touchdown. First first play of overtime.
Who's the Giants' best defensive player?
I don't know, but he wasn't in that play. I'm pretty sure on the field.
Anyways, he got pulled out literally on the first play in overtime. Who the does that?
I don't know.
That's like saying I'm not gonna put.
Oh, maybe the same guy that decided to go for it on 4th and 6 instead of kicking a field goal.
Something Kaka,
That's a
right?
guess.
His last name? Yeah.
Basically. Might as well be.
I think his last name's Kafka. So.
Yeah. That's what I said. Might as well be. So, yeah, Mike Kafka, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
But
moron.
Gibbs, 15, okay? 15 rushing attempts for 219 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then 11 receptions for 45 yards and a touchdown for a total of 264 scrimmage yards and 3 touchdowns. Like insane. Absolutely insane.
I'm so happy I didn't go against him in any league.
Yeah, that's
damn.
So an incredibly efficient day for Jahmyr Gibbs, and he's like again single-handedly just coming to the Lions' rescue. This is not the first time that he's really been the difference maker and and carrying the Lions offense to a victory. Because what I've noticed about Jared Goff this past couple weeks is he just, I don't know, starting to get a little sus there, Lions fans. Like he seems like he's missing receivers, and there's been a couple of sus drops too.
Yeah,
Amon-Ra St. Brown, not known for his drops, but I think he's going for like a season high of drops this year.
Yeah,
but regardless, Jared Goff seemed a little off the mark. Not really sure what's going on there. I mean, I would think it's a timing thing since everything in a Ben Johnson's offense is really about timing. But yeah,
right now it does seem like he's the identity of that team because I do feel like the coaching.
When you say who are you talking
Gibbs.
about? Oh, okay. Sorry.
I think that the coaching they're struggling because it's not Ben Johnson.
Yeah,
and I think that they're adapting. And don't get me wrong, they have so much talent that they could adapt. Other teams probably can't do that. But I don't think that the Lions are in a position where they have even a slight chance to make the wild card or win this division without Gibbs. I think Gibbs is that glue right now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not that I'm questioning Dan Campbell's play calling, but it does seem you could just tell it's different. It's very different from Ben Johnson, and
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, maybe that has to do with a little bit of Jared Goff's struggle. I don't know, but he just hasn't really looked like Jared Goff from last year. Not that I'm a big Jared Goff fan. I mean, I think he's a very, capable quarterback, but
Well, we say when everything is going well, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah.
But it's when things aren't going well, where he has certain line issues, he kind of becomes a mess. He's a liability. It's rare. Let's be honest. It's very rare. That team is so well put together that that's a rare thing, but he rarely gets them out of a mess when things are going bad. He's not that dynamic.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the end of the day, the Lions, again, escaped with the win.
A win's a win.
I mean,
they stayed in the conversation.
yeah. They're there.
I mean, fuck this division, man. Everyone, we don't know who has because these next 3 weeks are the most important for our division.
Yeah,
like we go against the Lions, then we go against you guys. If we win but lose to you guys, then you guys keep control.
Yeah, I mean, well, here, so we're already talking about it. Let's talk about what is happening this week. Okay, obviously we already started it on the top of the show that right now the Lions could be beating the Packers, or the Packers could be beating the Lions, or it could be a tie.
No more ties.
The game hasn't even started yet, depending on when you're listening.
No more ties, please.
Or maybe one of the teams has already won. So, but yes, it's going to be what I'm anticipating is a very good game, because obviously they're playing in Detroit, and
Be a revenge game for the Lions.
Exactly. Detroit didn't look ready week 1, and I can't say they look ready.
But they're mad. They're angry.
Yeah. So that'll be the big question is, how are the Packers going to play? Are they going to maintain the kind of conservative type route on offense and just let the defense kind of control the game? How will Detroit respond? So we'll see. Obviously, it's a huge game. A huge game.
The thing I'm going to say is that if Matt LaFleur calls that conservative type of play the way he did against the Vikings, if the Lions could be down 17 points and they'll come back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So that just, you have to play the same type of game that they play. You have to go for the kill.
Yeah.
Against the Lions, the Chiefs beat them. They beat them down. They went for the kill. You have to go for the kill against them.
Yeah. So speaking of down 17-0, not quite, but we'll move to the next preview game happening tomorrow on Black Friday. The Bears strolling into Philly after Philly just blew a 21-0 lead to the Cowboys. So they're also angry. And Philly fans, it's been fun. The alliance has been great. We both did our part, but
you're alliance. Seriously, you're alliance.
But, the alliance must come to an end. Maybe we can form another one next year. But yeah, and here's the thing is, to me, this is like a kind of lose-lose situation for Bears fans, because if we beat Philly, it'll be, oh, okay, you finally beat a team that's above 500. And then if we lose to Philly, then it's going to be, see, told you can't beat any team above 500. So not that, that storyline is important, but I'm getting frustrated with like the noise, which I shouldn't. I really shouldn't. But I'm excited to see. I'm hoping that we, have some of our starters on defense. We'll see where that's at. But nice little Black Friday matchup for us.
Do you think it's going to be more than 10 points?
Yeah.
17?
I don't know.
The Eagles have been the most boring team to watch all year.
I don't know, but
I hope you get a tie too. You deserve a tie.
Alrighty, and then our Sunday matchup, talked about him earlier, but Vikings rolling into Seattle, so will Sam Darnold rub it into the Vikings' faces of what could have been, because it's starting to look like a lost season for the Vikings.
That's going to be a game. I'm stoked for that.
Yeah, a lot of sick matchups this week. Obviously, the biggest one. Of course, they're all big games, right?
Well, the Vikings are on playoff mode now. They have to win every single game.
Yeah.
In this division, with all of us fighting for the first place just to win the division, they don't have the record to get a wild card. They need to win the division. I just don't see it right now.
Yep. So tune in, everybody. Again, depending on what time you listen to this show, you may have already seen the Packers-Lions game. If not, tune in. It'll be a great game.
They beat us twice last year. I hope we can beat them twice this year. Return the favor.
Sunday. So, all right, cue me for our fun fact of the day.
I didn't have it loaded.
Alrighty. Well, you talked about it earlier. So Micah Parsons now has 10 sacks through 11 games, which is his 5th straight double-digit sack season, becoming the 2nd longest streak by any player to begin a career. So 5 straight seasons of double-digit sacks, only behind good old Mr. Reggie White.
Whoa, the legend himself.
Yep. 9 straight seasons with double-digit sacks.
Damn.
Yeah, this is insane.
Do you still think he's too expensive?
Beast. Micah Parsons?
Or like what he brings to the team?
I think that you can't put a price on it until something happens.
Fair. That's fair.
Because, like I said, I compared it very early on to the Khalil Mack signing for the Bears, and we felt like we were getting our money's worth, but we never won a Super Bowl. So, at the end of the day, that's always the end game. And if you're not winning Super Bowls, then
to an extent, I think that
it didn't work out.
If you bring success, like if you're able to do something, he can't.
Nah, man, I want to win Super Bowls.
No, I mean I get it. We all want to win Super Bowls, but I'm saying that not every player has. Like one player has a lot of impact, but they're not responsible for the whole team being.
Let's just say it how it is. When you're paying someone that much money, it's because you want to win a Super Bowl.
Of course,
you're not breaking the bank because you want to make playoffs.
Of course, playoffs.
So that's
no. I agree. In that sense, I do agree, and I think that's why they picked him up. They thought that, that he was the last piece for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they expected us to get so conservative on offense. So now we need another piece apparently.
So that's how I would, it's the word I'm looking for. Assess if it was worth the money or not.
So we'll find out in like 4 years.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alrighty, everybody. Well, thank you for tuning in on this Thanksgiving Day. Hope everybody enjoys time with family and friends.
I'm thankful that this fun fact wasn't about the Vikings.
And some good old football. 3 great games today. So tune in to all of them. Obviously, NFC North first thing in the morning. But yeah. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Gobble, gobble. Go enjoy that turkey. Deuces.
They better give Jordan Love a turkey if he wins.